Good morning. I hope all of you had a good night's sleep. And let's kickstart today's day with some ArgoCD GitOps automation magic. So today's topic for me is application promotions using ArgoCD, which essentially means how you promote your applications across your dev, stage, production environments if you're using ArgoCD effectively, so that you get maximum benefit of GitOps and minimum amount of risk as you move from dev to prod. If you want to follow along or ahead of me, you can also open these slides using the URL here, that is tiny.cc argo-promo-slides, and you can look at it in the slideshow mode on your laptops as well. All right, so since I have only 15 minutes, I'm going to be not going to touch about what ArgoCD is, etc. But typically in ArgoCD world, you will either use a Git-based applications. So you define your application using path of a Git repository, or you define your application using Helm chart like this. So we will look at the promotion strategies using both these typical ways of deployment. So let us assume that you have 3 clusters: dev cluster, stage, and production cluster, and you have some way of controlling them via ArgoCD, either individually or at a common location. And you want to now deploy and move your changes for your application, and your application is sitting in a Git repository, and this is your main branch where your application source code is. Right? So typically, if you're using the Git path, and then if you want to have the maximum benefit of GitOps, then what you should do that's typically in dev, is that you put it in the branch tracking mode. So it is tracking your main branch now. And so whenever you have a commit happening in the main branch, it is going to deploy stuff in your dev cluster. And so this pink, red color, that's the application now in the dev. But let's say you make a new commit, and now your application color has changed to green. Then because of the branch tracking mode, automatically ArgoCD is going to pick up this new code change and make your application green. Now, but you don't want every commit that is live happening in dev to impact your stage environment, right? So in stage, probably you create another branch, and you have one more commit there, which is again connected to stage. So here you, instead of doing a branch tracking in Git, what you do is you use tag tracking, the Git tag tracking. So essentially you don't track every commit, but rather you are tracking a specific Git tag. So in this case, I have tagged this particular commit EE33FF as stage rollout, and now the ArgoCD application here is tracking a tag called stage rollout. So no matter how many more commits am I making, nothing is going to get deployed in stage automatically. But if you are if you are confident about your changes, you just do a git tag with a force to retag the stage rollout tag to a new commit. And the moment you do that, the ArgoCD is going to pick up the new tag, and your application turns blue in stage, right? But when it comes to production, you don't want any of these inadvertent or unplanned changes to move into production. You want maximum safety and least amount of disruption to your production workload. So for production, my recommendation would be to not look at any of the Git side operations to impact your workload. Rather, I would say that in case of production, the only thing that we should do is we do a kubectl apply, and we are tracking, in this case, via a Git SHA, which is basically the unique commit ID, right? So since you are tracking a commit ID, nothing will ever get deployed in production unless until you actually make a new application definition, the one which I was showing you here earlier, right? And you do a kubectl apply of that particular application definition. So only if you do a new such deploy, then only the application will turn yellow in production. So those are the 3 different ways of doing the using ArgoCD in 3 different environments with different amount of flexibility. I hope that it was clear. And so I will now move to a similar strategy for the Helm chart-based deployment. So the stage is quite similar. We have dev, stage, production clusters. We have ArgoCD apps already deployed. Let's say they all are blue for now. And here is my Helm repository where I am churning out new application releases. So I'm releasing my application version 234, 235, 236, 240, 241. over the time period, right? And then how does that get deployed in your variety of applications? I mean, a variety of environments, right? So for the dev, where I want maximum benefit of GitOps and least amount of work and maximum automation, I will do a tracking via a star version or wildcard version, meaning I don't care about whichever version, whichever is latest, please deploy in dev. So what will happen is when 2.3.4 gets released, take it. In 2.3.5, yes, please. 2.3.6, 2.4.1, 2.4.0, 2.4.1, all of it. As and when it gets released, dev is having the deployment. Whereas in stage, you would rather track it by a smaller subset of the range. So you can either do a smaller star, like 2.3.star or 2.star, or you can also specify a specific version range from 2.3.5 to 2.4.0. Yeah, so in that case, what will happen is since 2.3.4 is not sitting in this version range, it will not get deployed. But 2.3.5 will get deployed. So does 2.3.6, 2.4.0. But not 2.4.1, because it now lies outside the range that you had specified. Similarly, for production, just like how I said in Git, you don't want anything to get inadvertently deployed. So you are pinning it to a specific version in the Helm chart. So you're saying, OK, I only want to deploy 2.3.5. 2.3.4, since it did not match, it never went to production. 2.3.5 does go to the production. Then 6, 2.4.0, 2.4.1, none of them move it to production. Now, if you want to actually deploy 2.4.1 in production, similar to Git, you change the application definition, the ArgoCD application definition, and you change the target revision to 2.4.1. And then once you do that, it will get deployed and the application becomes shallow. And this is what I want to also show you now in the demo. The demo is available in my GitHub. You can download this entire demo. There are also setup instructions how to run it. I will not right now go through the setup instructions, but I would rather move directly to the demo. So I have a Kind cluster locally running with me, and I have 4 applications already deployed. As you can see, I have. So instead of having 3 different environments, I'm just simulating multiple environments in multiple namespaces here. So I have a dev namespace application. I have a stage namespace application, yeah, and I have 2 Helm applications here. One in dev and one in stage. And I also have a dev application which is using the Git as the source, and stage application which is using Git as the source. All right. And those applications are very simple. They are also open here. So you can see the application is simply a small web application which allows me to have some background color and some message. So this is my dev application with the Git source or the raw YAML manifest. This is my stage application with the raw YAML manifest. This is my dev application using Helm and stage application using Helm. So those are the applications which I'm going to make changes to and promote the change. That's what we will have a quick look at. All right. So I'll first do the change for the Helm chart, since GitHub takes some amount of time to recognize new version that is getting pushed. So I will first do the Helm, and then we'll come back to the raw vanilla charts. So as usually, if I want to push a new Helm chart, I must first change the version of the chart. And I'm going to change the background color that you see here, right? I have some good background colors kept ready with me. Let's use, yeah. All right. So yeah, so those are the changes that I wanted to do for the Helm chart. You can see that this is the change, and this is the change. I'm not going to push the source code changes to Git, but rather the Helm chart changes to Git. So I'm just committing this, but I would rather not be pushing this version. I will create a new Helm chart and push the Helm chart. Okay. All right, and so you can see that I have a main branch, which is the code branch, and the GS pages branch, which is where I'm having my Helm chart supported, deployed. So I do a Helm publish here, which creates my Helm chart. And now so you can see this is my new chart, and this is the index.yaml for Helm. And I push the new version. I forgot to show you that my application in Helm are connected to 0.1 meaning any version in 0.1 will automatically be picked up. But right now it is connected to 0.1.10, and here also 0.1.10. Okay, so it will get rolled out as the application becomes available via Git. Yeah. And so now let's wait for Git in the background, GitHub, for recognizing my new push. In the meanwhile, I will also change the raw YAMLs. So I have this same application deployed as a deployment, and these are the environment values that I can change. So let me take some different color for the dev, and maybe let's change this to say CDS demo. And for the stage app, let's say CDS demo 2. And maybe let's take Ivory. All right. So if I go, so you can see that those two changes are picked up by Git. I am committing them and pushing it to the Git. And this is slightly more faster when it comes to GitHub. So let me just quickly check. They are still at 1.11, 0.1.10. So I'm just going to sync all the apps to force ArgoCD to move faster than we would like. So it's not as fast as I would like, rather, yeah. All right, so now you can see that the raw ArgoCD is synced few seconds ago, changing colors and messages. And this was, yeah. But this is not the version that I wanted, I guess. Yeah, okay. Change raw manifest, okay. So still the change is not visible for some reason. Sync, oh, refresh, okay, I'm sorry. I must have it, refresh. Yeah, change raw manifest, and now we are good with that. Similarly, let's look at the Helm demo. We are at 0.1.11 in dev, and in stage also 0.1.11. So it picked up because I had given the wildcard in dev. It was a star wildcard, doesn't matter any of it. And in stage, it was 0.1.star, which means it allowed from moving from 10 to 11 automatically. And let's look at the Helm demo. So the color should be now changed in both stage and dev, yeah. Similarly, we saw that the dev raw manifests were also changed. So let's look at that as well. It should now say CDS demo, and color has been changed. Now, if you look at stage, though, it will not be changed because I have turned off the automatic sync in stage. So if I go to, oh, I mean to say, sorry, I have not changed the target tag here. So if you look at one line, so you can see my tag is here, but my code currently is here. So I'm going to do a tag update and tag push so that the change tag information is communicated to GitHub. And now if I do a refresh here, it will recognize the updated out of sync application. I do a sync, and I go to the stage application and do a refresh, and it still doesn't change. Okay, it had to be nudged a bit. All right, so that's how you can migrate the changed versions of your applications, be it a Git mode or be it a Helm chart mode. And now with the ArgoCD, if you want to use in the Kubernetes platform 2.21 in specific, we have done a lot of improvements. And so deploying ArgoCD in your masters and seeds, as well as in your user clusters in a managed mode, has become really easy with the new release. So you are welcome to look at the QR code and read more about the application CR that we have introduced in KKP 2.21, which makes it really easy. And that was it from my side. Feel free to have the further discussion on this topic by reaching me on GitHub, LinkedIn, Twitter at Dharap Vijay, Dharap Vijay, or I'm also available outside in the Kubermatic booth if there are any questions. Thank you.